Over the years, I've heard so many students and parents talk about the problems that they have, the relationship problems that they have, because the parent is trying to force their own dreams, goals, egos, unfulfilled dreams, their own wishes onto their children, and their children resist this many times in very strong ways. And sometimes I hear kids say things like, I feel like I'm just my parents' puppet. Like I don't have my own mind. I don't have my own ambitions, my own passions. I just do what my parents tell me to do. And it's just, I don't know how to operate outside of that. And they continue doing things, even if they don't feel like it, they have no passion for it, they don't have much interest in it, they don't even want to do it. Sometimes they hate it, but they continue on, at least for some time. But at some point, this comes to an end, and it ends in great disappointment. It ends in resentment. It ends in heartbreaks, and it ends in strained relationships between parents and children. I've seen this too many times. So today, I want to talk to parents. I'm a parent myself. I've talked to literally thousands of parents over the past 20 some years of working with teenagers, and especially in the last 12 or 13 years in the education business, working with parents and students. But I can tell you that this is a misguided and misplaced mindset when a parent is trying to sort of control his or her child according to their egos, their plans, their interests. You should do this. I think you should play the piano. I think you should play the violin. I think you should be on the swim team. I think you should be in varsity lacrosse. I think you should do this and you should do that. And parents even go as far as to say you must become a doctor, or you must become a lawyer, or you must become an engineer, or you must become this, or you must become that. But this is very risky, because first of all, the parent's life and the parent's desires must not dictate the child's life and the child's desires. The parent and the child are two different entities, and the parent doesn't own the child. God didn't give us children for us to own them and for us to control them and for us to inflict our own egos and our own dreams and goals that we couldn't fulfill onto them. We have to see what kind of passions, abilities, talents, dreams that they have, and to help them discover those things and help them develop those things and help them to live out their own calling and purpose in life. But if we sort of, overload, load our own selfish ambitions and goals and desires onto them, this doesn't end well, and I've never seen this end well. Okay, and so this not only affects the next generation, it affects the next generation sometimes, and so this is a very risky thing, and in my mind, a very negative thing to do. If your kids feel like they are merely your puppets, that is a problem. You have to really look at what their own innate abilities and talents and passions are, and you have to help them discover that. You have to be supportive of that. It may not be in line with what you think. Now, you might say, man, but you don't understand. I grew up really poor. I worked so hard. I worked my butt off to get to this point and to become financially comfortable. And I don't want my kids to go through that pain. And I want to save them from years of financial misery. And I understand all that. I totally understand all that, because my background isn't that different. My parents were not poor per se. We didn't live in poverty, but I understand what financial struggle is. I grew up financially struggling, and I understand the stress of that on a child, because I was one of those kids, and I always wanted to have a lot of money, and I wanted to be financially comfortable. And I started working when I was like 14 years old, because I wanted to make my own money, and I wanted to be able to buy things that I wanted to buy without having to ask my parents all the time, because I knew my parents didn't have a lot of money, and I didn't like feeling like I was burdening them when I asked them to buy me things. And they did their best, and they worked hard to, give us what my sister and I needed and wanted, but they couldn't give us everything. And it felt so good for me to work, and it taught me to work early and work hard, and on and on. And so, but now that I'm financially comfortable, and I understand when parents say, I don't want my kids to go through that pain. But let me tell you my perspective. It's not too bad. It's not such a bad thing to go through a little bit of pain. If your kids are too comfortable, it can make them very soft. And I've seen a lot of these kinds of kids. They're 20 years old, 22, 25, even older, and they refuse to work. They're lazy, they're entitled, they're spoiled, and they have no idea what a work ethic is. That is not a good thing. That is not helping your child. And so a little bit of pain is okay. Now, if you are financially comfortable as a parent, I guarantee you, your kids are not going to go through the same pain you went through. Already, since they were born, they're much more comfortable than you ever were as a parent, right? I mean, than I ever was as a kid. And so you can be assured it is okay. But having them work at an early age, teaching them to work, teaching them responsibility, and yes, teaching them to take risks sometimes when they're kids, rather than saying, look, you have to play this instrument, you have to join this sport, you have to do this activity. Why don't you talk to them about it, see what kind of things they want to do. Now, when they're very young, I don't want to do anything, and it is okay. Then kind of see what they might want. Maybe it's not even a sport that they want to do. Maybe it's something different that they want to do. And it's not important that at a very young age, I see parents of so many, elementary school kids, I mean, just pushing them into all kinds of things. They're taking 4 different, lessons, and they have 2 tutors, and I mean, it gets a little crazy. And then as the kids grow up, they resist all this, and then the parents feel like, man, I just wasted my money. I wasted my money. I wasted the time that we could have had together, the good memories that we could have made, the things that we could have done together. And instead of that, I just caused a lot of pain in the relationship. And I wasted a lot of money, wasted their time. Because what do I have to show for it? Well, basically nothing, because they quit everything. They didn't want to do it. You may feel like you're controlling your kids for a few years, but they'll get to an age where they resist. And it's very hard to force a kid to do something. Now, you may say, no, I'm forcing my high school kid to do things. But here's the thing. Forcing a kid to do something will never let them be as successful as if they had done something out of their own motivation and passion. You can't be somebody who is truly passionate about something. Your high school kid will never be as good as the other kid who is truly passionate about their thing. So in the end, they're just mediocre. And you might say, no, they're pretty good now. Wait till college. Wait till beyond college. Something that is forced and is not backed up by intrinsic, internal motivation and passion can never last indefinitely. It just can't. On the other hand, if somebody is motivated internally, motivated by their own passions, you can't stop that. That's going to go on. That will go on for a lifetime in many cases. And your job as a parent and my job as a parent is to see what kind of passions my kids have. Not my own expectations of what they should be, but what kind of things they were given. And to help them and direct that in a very healthy way, in a supportive way, so that they can do those things, so they can develop those skills. And don't base it merely on, I don't think they can make money doing that. Okay? Especially in this day and age, there are many ways to make money. And parents are so confined in their minds about, well, if you study art, you can't ever make money. If you do this, you can't ever make money. If you do this, you'll make a lot of money. Though that's not necessarily true. I've seen a lot of people who do, okay, maybe not a lot, but I've seen people in art make a ton of money. And it's not because they're selling their paintings. Okay, so most parents have this one-dimensional idea about when they think of art, they only think of this one thing, and this is the only way to do it. And you're not going to make any money doing that, because I don't know anybody who's done that and made money. They're very restricted in their knowledge and in their experience about how people make money doing different kinds of things, because they've only done one thing. And I'm here to tell you, I've seen people do a lot of different things. And I've done a lot of very different things in my life as well. I was an engineer, I was in recruiting, I was in sales, I was in management, I was an instructor. I was in teaching, I've been an education entrepreneur for the last 12, 13 years. I was an engineer. I did a lot of different things. I worked in a lot of different industries, and I've had many students go into many, many different fields. I have colleagues and friends who have gone into many different kinds of fields. So I have a broad exposure, and I can tell you that the financial implications of a profession are not always like you might think or you might expect. So stop restricting your kid based on that. Okay, and I've seen many nightmarish situations because their parents insisted that a kid do something and the kid didn't have any interest in that. The kid didn't even have the ability to do that. And yet 4 years later, after they flunk out of college and they're lost, the parents at that point, okay, now what do you want to do? Okay, it's better late than never, but that's a little bit late. I'm saying when your kids are young, always just already make up your mind that you're going to support them, that you're not going to force your own insecurities, your own ambitions, your own selfishness, your own dreams onto your child who may not even share those same things. Okay, this is very important because in the end, it doesn't work. You got to let them discover and develop the things that they want to do. Now, this is hard for some parents to hear. I understand that. I'm not here to, be your friend. I'm here to give good advice so that you have a good relationship with your child and your child is happy. That is my goal. So, and to that extent, I'll just end it here. That's what I want to say about that. But I hope you take it to heart. There are many other parenting advice, money and financial, personal finance advice, career advice, mindset for success advice, and college prep advice for high school students on my website. I have over 130 videos on my channel, and I upload a new video every single day. So I hope that they help you. They help you improve your life, and that's my goal. So if this video was helpful, then I hope you'll watch those, and I hope you'll share it with someone who might be helped as well. But thank you so much for watching this tough video. I know it wasn't easy to hear, but I hope you take it to heart for your child. And until my next video, please stay well.